Say that in America, everybody has an American dream, a possibility. What do you say about that?
I don't agree with this. America has created many myths about itself, and many people believe those myths. But if you look very closely at the reality of American life, you'll see that there are people born with a lot of advantages and other people who are born with no advantages whatsoever. And for those people without advantages to get ahead is really a question of tremendous good luck and an enormous kind of willpower that who knows where it comes from. But every once in a while, it happens that someone will succeed who seemed to have nothing going for him or her. But it's so rare. And let's talk about the main subject, which is if you're born poor in America, no one really cares. Society is rather cruel in the United States, and there's a whole ideology about that governments should not participate in helping people, that government is really only to have an army to defend the country. They keep talking, and the Republicans, about dependency, that it's bad for people to be dependent. Well, we're all dependent on one another. I mean, we don't exist in vacuums. We come out of a woman's body. We're brought up as babies. We're completely helpless. We're dependent. Later, we're dependent on our teachers, our friends, the people we care about. So this idea that we, the people who are the government, shouldn't take care of one another doesn't make any sense to me.
I think many, especially younger Finns, have now learned from TV when they show the cities specifically in southern United States, how the Confederation flag looks like. I mean, you see it now a lot more than you used to see, let's say, 5 years ago. What does that mean?
Well, there's been a great history, a long history of black-white relations in America. I mean, it began with slavery, which is really an abomination. It's so awful to think about the fact that for hundreds of years, white people actually enslaved black people. And it wasn't just about making them work. I mean, there's such a dark side to all this. It was also, it gave the white men the power to rape black women and to have sex with them whenever they wanted. No one ever talks about this. But if you go to America and you look at the wide range of skin color of African Americans, almost nobody is pure black. They all have white blood in them. And why? Well, because of this system that existed. So I don't think America's ever addressed the problem of slavery deeply enough or honestly enough. And therefore, the questions of racial inequality persist. More recently, 2008, we elected Barack Obama president, which seemed to be a miracle. And many of us in the United States were thrilled that we had finally grown up to such a point that we could do this and elect this highly capable, intelligent, compassionate man as president. But his election created what they call a backlash. And there must have been about 30% of the country who hated the idea that a black man should be in the White House. Just think of that, black man in the White House. They couldn't stand it. And now, the current president, whose name I won't even mention, we just call him number 45 now. That's it. Yeah.
I'm number 12.
Yeah. That's a much nicer number, you know. 12 is a great number, yes. He got into big-time national politics by attacking Obama and saying that he was not an American citizen. And I think he learned a lot from this because he kept telling this lie again and again and again. It's the old Joseph Goebbels theory, the big lie. At first, no one believes you, but you keep saying it, and after a while, people begin to soften. So he went from having no one believe it to, I think after 6 or 7 years, 35 or 40% of America believed he was right. And that's scary. You keep lying, and people start to believe you. So all these things have happened, and he, number 45, has encouraged the worst in people. People are not all bad, all good, you know, but if they're encouraged to bring out the worst in themselves, they'll do it. And he's doing it. And what we're seeing around the country, and Charlottesville was a prime example. I mean, these were neo-Nazis out there. And if they're waving a Confederate flag, to me, it's just the same as a swastika. And 45 said, well, they're nice people too. Well, they're not. And so when people like that are encouraged from the top, their numbers start to grow. And it's a dangerous situation we're in right now.